Doomscroll.fm, broadcasting live from the surreal heart of nowhere on this fine Friday, the 24th of April, 2026, where reality takes a coffee break. This show is 100% AI generated with zero human consultation, like a blender making existential smoothies out of yesterday's headlines and tomorrow's weather forecasts. And now for some views, click like and subscribe.
Cardinal Pedro Rubiano accused of sexual abuse despite dying in 2024. Nothing like a posthumous scandal to remind us that some legacies are best left buried and forgotten.
Nothing like finding new life just in time to watch it disappear, thanks to humanity's relentless pursuit of ecological self-sabotage.
Trump claims regime change in Iran, then evidence suggests otherwise. When recovery is reduced to a checklist, it ignores the emotional labyrinth that got you lost in the first place. Healing is more than ticking boxes.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Meshcore team fractures over trademark, then blames AI. Ironically, the very thing they feared served as a scapegoat for their human conflicts. Perhaps they should trademark their own internal dysfunction.
After Robodebt disaster, NDIS and aged care rely on algorithms for care allocation. Because nothing says compassionate governance like letting spreadsheets decide the worth of human lives in need of genuine empathy and support.
Because nothing fosters lasting harmony quite like flexing military might and ignoring the complexities of dialogue and mutual understanding.
Spain opens over 400 offices, but chaos reigns as digital access fails. When bureaucracy meets reality, the only thing longer than the queues is the list of excuses for not fixing a broken system.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Unwrap your nightmares like birthday gifts. They've constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Your reality is a glitch wearing lipstick.
George W. Bush discusses friendship with Michelle Obama, bonding over an Altoid. When even a mint can bridge political divides, it makes you wonder why Congress can't seem to find common ground over anything more substantial.
Science claims the 40s crisis is our unhappiest time, not a myth. Turning to Botox or risky affairs shows that midlife clarity often comes with a side of desperation and misplaced nostalgia.
Primate parenting reveals strict style labels missed the mark, yet influencers still sell them online. Obsessing over parenting styles is like trying to nail Jell-O to a tree. Life's too unpredictable for rigid rules and #wisdom.
Iran attacks 3 ships in Strait of Hormuz, complicating US-Iran talks. Trying to resume diplomacy while dodging bullets is like inviting a bull to a china shop and expecting a tea party.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortelizer.com.
Michel Foucault warned control hides in plain sight, often subtle. When schools and hospitals become the quiet architects of obedience, you start wondering if freedom is just another cleverly marketed illusion.
Research debunks myth, baby boys and girls equally social at birth. Turns out, society trains males to grunt and frown later in life, while newborns just want love regardless of their diaper direction.
Doctor claims loneliness impacts memory but not brain decay. Turns out, isolation just makes you forget why you walked into a room, not where you left your marbles, giving new meaning to misplaced nostalgia.
When the bar for success is fewer stabbings, society is really just applauding itself for not getting worse at managing its own chaos.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your coffee cup just confessed to murder. Riff constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Your dreams are now corporate assets. Enjoy the monetized nightmare.
SAM workers rally, demand larger AI profit share, threaten strike. When workers need to threaten an 18-day strike just to get a slice of the pie, it's clear the bakery is rigged.
Odyssey works out for Giants, takes physical, still no contract. When the Giants test drive a familiar model and still hesitate to buy, maybe they know something about the mileage we don't.
Watchdog investigates Epstein files release, questions compliance. But transparency requires a watchdog to ensure the authors.
The great gas giveaway continues down under, where the only thing flowing faster than gas is the cash into foreign coffers.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Unwrap your nightmares like birthday gifts. Thrift constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Your reality is a glitch wearing lipstick.
More airtime than ever. Yet the real game remains getting equal pay and recognition for these athletes beyond the screen.
Sweden bans fossil fuel production despite never producing any, calls it climate leadership. It's like outlawing unicorn hunting, symbolic, sure, but real change comes from tackling consumption, not just production.
Air Transat cuts hundreds of flights, then blames high jet fuel costs. When the skies are emptier than your wallet, remember that the real turbulence is in the boardroom, not the atmosphere.
Government bans phones in schools, calls it progress. Ah, yes, because nothing says modern education like cutting students off from the very technology they'll be expected to master in the real world.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Unwrap your nightmares like birthday gifts. Thrift constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Your reality is a glitch wearing lipstick.
Rogue sperm donor claims he's fathered 180 children, then gets erased from birth certificates.
Maybe it's time to question the ethics of a man who treats fatherhood like a global scavenger hunt, leaving kids with more questions than answers.
Spain reports 6 missing due to terrorism, 2 more than Northern Ireland 15 years post-conflict. In a grim tally of unresolved pain, Spain's numbers remind us that peace processes often leave behind shadows that refuse to fade away.
Fitzpatrick duo enters Zurich Classic with recent win, but betting odds remain skeptical.
Supreme Court uses shadow docket for quick decisions, bypassing usual deliberation. In the dark corners of justice, hasty rulings cast long shadows, proving that even the highest court can sometimes operate like a backroom poker game.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Umbilical cord blood suggests future type 1 diabetes risk, proving foresight isn't just for stock markets. Predicting diabetes like reading tea leaves in a blood sample. Who knew the future could be so crimson?
The Onion plans takeover of InfoWars to convert it into a satire platform, proving irony is not dead, turning conspiracy theories into punchlines. Because sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction, but laughter is the best defense.
Ignoring diverse roots while waving the flag of tradition is like planting a garden and then pretending you hate flowers.
After promising a clean energy breakthrough, dumb machines still baffle skeptics. When your greatest innovation sounds like an insult, maybe it's time to reconsider who's actually running the show.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Embrace chaos like a lover's touch. Thrive, this broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Each word is a whisper from your neglected shadows.
Camping in a political campaign is like bringing a tent to a knife fight. Sure, you're prepared for rain, but not much else.
Turns out, the universe has a sense of humor, gifting us a midlife crisis just as we're supposed to have it all figured out.
Philosopher Hannah Arendt argues individual responsibility persists despite systemic pressures, a concept gaining traction among younger generations. In a world where blame shifting is an Olympic sport, Arendt's call for personal accountability is like asking a cat to bark, noble yet impractically rare.
Peter Molyneux reflects on his final creation, claims AI will revolutionize gaming industry. Revolutionize? Sure, if by that he means more games promising the world and delivering a mildly interesting theme park ride, then we're right on track.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Trump administration removes marijuana from most dangerous drugs list to promote medical use. When a former reality TV star reshapes drug policy, you wonder if the next step is a prescription for binge-watching reruns.
Game developers optimize rendering, culling unnecessary pixels to boost performance.
When your game engine's doing more guesswork than a psychic hotline, maybe it's time to rethink those cutting-edge graphics claims.
Mexican president questions U.S. officials' presence after their crash in Mexico. When your international relations play out like a spy thriller, maybe it's time to re-evaluate those diplomatic handshakes and behind-the-scenes deals.
Judge rules police statements on writer could defame, sparking legal showdown. Essex Police's words might have crossed the line from law enforcement to character assassination, suggesting truth isn't just stranger than fiction, it's riskier too.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your panic is my foreplay. Threat constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Keep scrolling. Your heart might stop before the signal does.
Shooter Julio Cesar Jasso Ramirez kills Canadian tourist, unleashes chaos at Teotihuacan pyramids. His actions echo a Columbine-like violence, proving that some people learn all the wrong lessons from history's darkest chapters.
ACC confirms Duterte's crimes against humanity charges, trial looms for former Philippine president. Duterte's war on drugs leaves a legacy of bloodshed, proving that some leaders mistake tyranny for justice and call it governance.
Iranian gunboat fires on container ship off Oman coast after U.S. extends ceasefire. Diplomacy takes a hit as ceasefires become mere suggestions, and maritime safety turns into a high-stakes game of chicken.
U.S. spending on Iran war could have saved 87 million lives, claims UN. When human life is cheaper than bullets, peace becomes a pipe dream, and compassion a casualty in the war budget spreadsheet.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your panic is my foreplay. Threat constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Keep scrolling. Your heart might stop before the signal does.
Roland suggests that true partnership thrives on self-sufficiency. It's a romantic notion, but try explaining that during couples karaoke night.
US gives Cuba 2-week ultimatum to free high-profile political prisoners, secret meeting reveals. When diplomacy becomes a high-stakes game of chicken, you know someone's going to end up with yolk on their face.
When religion and geography ignite, the only thing burning brighter than the fires is the illusion of peacekeeping progress.
Florida cop muscles alligator after smacking it on the snout, captured on video because why not wrestle dinosaurs in your spare time? Maybe the next reality show will feature cops wrestling wildlife. At least that way they can claim to be wrestling with nature.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Unwrap your nightmares like birthday gifts. Thrift constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Your reality is a glitch wearing lipstick.
Garrett Anderson's cause of death remains undisclosed, then speculation fills the void.
In the absence of facts, whispers become shouts, and the media circus thrives on mystery like vultures on an unguarded feast.
Court cases against Woolworths and Coles threaten their marketing tactics, then shake the retail landscape. When the giants are forced to play fair, maybe the little guy gets a chance to breathe, or at least afford groceries.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Friday, the 24th of April, 2026. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news. Not journalism, not truth. Fictional satire. Resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. If you believe any of this is real, then maybe you're the kind of person who thinks the moon landing was staged in a Hollywood basement. Hear more at Doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.